The voice of sharing. Durian ASEAN.
Hi, this is Arlene and you're listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. Today we have our guest all the way from Sabah at our ASEAN breakfast call. So Lindu Livan, that's your name, right? Hello?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so today we will be talking about the voices of Sabahan youth in the civil society. And Lindu, you are a member of the School of Acting Justly, Living Tenderly, or in short, it's called SALT, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so tell me more. I mean, being a Sabahan youth, tell me more. You being part of this organization and representing Sabahan civil society.
Okay, I will start with the background of SALT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, SALT was started on 2008 by organized 2 weeks program. The first program is in Malacca by bringing all university students all over the Malaysia. So basically, SALT is bring the students to express to the issues and causes, for example, like the dam issues,
Mm-hmm.
and then the like refugees and then people that living in the oppressed.
Wow, that's a lot of areas that you are working on.
Yeah. So currently we are supporting the group which called a task force against the Kadon Dam in Sabah. So actually it started on 2011. So yeah.
So what is the current focus of SALT right now?
Current focus is we are focusing on the dam issues in Sabah. Because I think this is very crucial issues that we have to look into it.
So when you say the dam issue, can you explain more? What is the issue surrounding the dam that you mentioned?
The surrounding issues is that when more than 2,000 people in the village, 9 villages, will be affected by the dam. So as young people or students, we try to spread these issues by giving some of information and awareness, especially to the university students. That's why in 2011, we did our 2 weeks program in Kaiduan.
Oh, wow.
The university students, yeah.
I see. And if I'm not mistaken, what the campaign that you are doing currently is the Save Ulu Parpar campaign for that dam, right?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, that's one of the current initiative of your organization. What else that you do as a Sabahan youth in the civil society?
And then as a Sabahan youth also, because I can see that why there are a lot of problems between Sabahan people and the West Malaysians, because there is a big of a cultural gap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What do you mean by cultural gap?
Yeah, because so how do we to bridge all these cultural gaps? Because most of the time Sabahan will be misconception or misunderstood with the peninsular, and then it's a both way. Peninsula also have some of misconceptions towards Sabahan.
That's interesting that you highlight that area. So when you say misconception, what are the key misunderstanding that, okay, first of all, maybe what do people from Peninsula misunderstood about the people from Borneo or from Sabah in specific?
Some of the issues like they still look into how is the Sabahans life. I mean, they still think that Sabah is still living on the trees. Sabah is the poorest state, but the fact that we are rich because of our lands and traditional varieties. And sometimes from our experience as a student in West Malaysia, sometimes we feel that you do not belonging to the same nations where. One of my friends experienced when she came to Peninsula. The first word that come out is "Welcome to Malaysia." Yeah.
It's like as if you're from another state another country instead of one of the states in Malaysia, isn't it?
Yeah, so that is part of the misconception, I think. But as a Sabahan also, we should look into it. What is the misconception about peninsular people also that we have? Because I think it's both-sided. Yeah.
So,
And then,
what are they? Because I'm quite curious to know.
you know, the peninsulars to Malaysia, to Sabah.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes misconceptions happen when the Sabahan and Peninsula doesn't understand to each other.
Uh-huh.
So most of the times Sabahan also curious about how is Peninsulas people they look as a Sabahan. I mean, like maybe from the language also, the dialect is different, a bit different. So that is somehow can create create the identity racist.
Yeah, that's true. So, I'm quite interested to know about you. Why you joined civil society? I mean, you could have be part of the corporate world or work in the government or just do other sort of activities. But why civil society?
Because actually I started when I joined a 2 weeks program of SOL in Bakundem in 2010. So when I lived with the villagers there and then did sharing with their struggle and experience in fighting the dam. So I think this is my starting point where I'm interested in civil society. Because I'm working in the corporate world as a company secretary. But I think it's no reason for me to escape from this causes or issues. Yeah, because I think that the liberations from the causes and issues are bound up with me personally. That's why that leads me to be part of all this.
Do you think it's just you, or do you think that in the larger perspective, Sabahan youth is coming out from their cocoon and are more actively involved in the civil society movement in their state?
Because I think some of Sabahan youth are active and some of them are not. Because from my experience, I'm joined this program and exposed to the issues and causes, all that. But some of them are still living in the comfort zone. So probably this might be the trend for the Sabahan youth to come out and then to speak up about the issues and causes. So yeah.
I noticed that Sabah is a very diverse state. In fact, there's a huge pool of ethnicity there. I don't think I know how many of them, but I also realized that because there's so many ethnicity, there's also the race relation experience would be very different from Peninsular Malaysia, I would say. In this sense, I think the way Sabahan youth approach issues also would be different. But what are the key issues that do you think are currently affecting Sabahan youth? Is race relation one of it as well?
Yes. I think one of the key issues is the education system. Because I think the education system should be flexible and use the creative tools and methodologies at different level. Because as you know, that capacity is different from young people at the secondary and university level. Yeah. So and also I think the key issue is when there's a lack of education stripe-based approach at the early of the ages. Yeah. So and then the understanding about the two. I mean, because you see that there is a rural versus urban areas. So I think the understanding to each other is a very narrow. I mean, the no educations for the rural folks or to understand the privileged people, and then the urban area also doesn't understand the rural areas. So that is I think that it should be balanced, and then the intellectual young people also should be balanced on the theoretical and practical. Yeah.
What about involvement in civil society? Do you see more and more young people getting more active?
I think nowadays, I think at the university level, yeah, there are some of youth students that been involved because they are more aware about the issues and causes like the dam issues. But some of them also still in the comfort zone. I mean, like doesn't want to involve on this issue. And then from my experience also, some of them will be stuck from the voluntarism before being fully involved in the in this kind of issues and causes.
And why do you think they are just stuck as a volunteer rather than fully involved in civil society?
Because there is no skill or capacity, tools or methodologies that used by some of trainers to train them. So they cannot fully adopt or they cannot fully absorb what they are doing. So that's why they need to have this kind of skills. Or we also must understand their situations or scenario. I mean, how do we really understand students' life? Yeah, the campus life.
I see. And for you, being one of the emerging young Sabahan in the civil society, you're also being nominated for the Youth Huminodun and Sindak Pangazou Awards.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, this is an award that celebrates young people who have been contributing to the community as a positive role model to other youth, and also being written in the Facebook site. The name itself, which I hardly can pronounce it just now, inspired by local mystical legends about love and sacrifice to the community. But can you explain more about it? Because I'm really interested to know about this award.
This award. Basically, this award is initiated by the Youth Prep Center, YPC, that is located in Alam Mesra, Kota Kinabalu. So basically, they started this Voice Out 2010, which give youths a platform to express their talents while raising awareness on issues that concern them. So basically, this award is encourage youths in playing their part as an important component in their community. So I think that it's become like an inspirations for the youths to contribute in the causes and issues. And then, and then at the same time also highlight the youth varieties of skills and capacities.
And this is not a new award, right? It has started since 2012.
Yes, it started in 2012.
Can you share with me some of the other nominees of the award?
There is a few nominees like Adams, and then some of them is also from young people, is still in the secondary school, Form 5, but have been involved in the committee in the school as a leader. And then some of them also like Ryan is a lawyer that much more contribute in the legal terms in Sabah. And then a few of them like
Okay, but do you think this awards is very significant to Sabahan youth?
Yeah, I think it's significant if you can fully understand what is the real meaning of this award. Because I think this award is not personally award, but it's a group award where, from my part, I am representing a soul. So this award is for the soul. I mean, how we can to more give inspirations to the young people to create a new group or to be part of this group. Yeah.
So it's a bit more complex than just a normal youth award, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for young Sabahan, I mean, for them, right? Do you think they hold the key towards Sabah's future?
Sabah future. I think Sabahan youth is a very important part, and then as an agent of change for the future, because this change will be happen if we really instill and then try to practice like a sense of belonging, and then if we look everyone as a human being and working together as oppressed people for the cause, and then and then we can stand up for our rights. Because I believe that in future, if we still not stand up and voice out and speak, we will be at the end of the day we will pay for the price that we are facing now. For example, the economic situation.
Do you think Sabahan people in general, they are fully in control of their own lives in Sabah and also their own economy?
Because I believe that somehow or other is it's not really controlled by them, because there is a higher technical rules and regulations that implemented. So basically, we are live in a big structure, bureaucratic. I mean, so that is the rules that control us, and in terms of economy also, there is a few policies that being implemented that to control the economy. For example, the cost of the food, and then you can see the differences of price between the Peninsula and Sabah also.
So, my last question to you, as a Sabahan youth, what can you say to the youth out there in order for us to sort of move on this country, especially in, I would say not just in Sabah, but Malaysia in general. We are plagued by a lot of issues related to race and religion, and to some extent, we sort of being blinded by the real issues that is happening in this country, such as issues related to economy, politics, and also societal issues. So, for the younger generation of today, how would you address this issue and try to inspire, encourage young people to sort of get out from their own cocoon?
Okay, as a young people and Sabahan, I think one thing that we should do is how to come out from the comfort zone. I mean, to step up from the boxes and then see surrounding us. So I think this is very important, because we are living in the big reality. That is that we should face it and then not avoid it, because some people knows this, but they somehow try to avoid it. And then I think for the Sabahan and then the young people, to bring the change is not easy. It's very complex, and also need a long process. You cannot achieve the change within 1 year, 2 years. But it's a process, and then at the same time, there's a learning process that we should learn. And I think that the most important thing is from now, how do we bridge the cultural gap between Sabah and Peninsula? Yeah, that's very important, I think, for now, because sometimes you look into the differences from religions, from ethnics, so much look into the differences.
And in fact, in Peninsula, they are thinking of using Sabah as a role model in terms of race relation. So I guess we should learn from each other. I mean, between the Peninsula, Sabah, and Sarawak.
Yeah, I think that is the exchange models too. So also, it's very important mechanisms how we can exchange the skill and capacity between Sabahan and Peninsula. Yeah, so that is become more on narrow down the differences and can create larger awareness in the same causes and issues.
Anything else to add on? Maybe about the award. When the award will be presented?
I think the award will be presented on 14th of June.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they will select the nominees by a few judges. Yeah.
And the nomination has already been closed. Before this, there's a open sort of judge via Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, just by Facebook, and also they have a few judges from a few NGOs. Yeah. So there is a percentage of like, and then for voting. Yeah. Voting.
So I hope you all the best. But whatever it is, I think this award is very significant to Sabahan youth, and I believe the civil society in Sabah is definitely emerging and expanding. And I hope, just like you as well, that there will be lesser cultural gap between the Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak, and a more, I would say, close-knitted worldview of the two different, I would say, sides, the west and also the east of Malaysia.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Anyway, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Okay, thank you. I will come, Arlene.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.